You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Right now, a tropical disturbance is building in the Caribbean. Heavy rain and flooding is expected to impact parts of the Suncoast over the weekend. First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi is tracking the storm for us.
Plus, hitting the road this weekend, well, gas prices are on the rise, but we are going to tell you where you can find some of the best gas prices here on the Suncoast. And this morning, disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein expected to turn himself in to New York City police. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. The brink of Memorial Day weekend. Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. And speaking of waking up, John Scalzi has a lot on his plate. What are we watching out there, John?
Well, the potential, and it's certainly by no means written in stone, of excessive rainfall for us over the weekend that could lead to some low-lying flooding, some river flooding down the road. We just don't know that yet, and it's one of those things that we'll probably be forecasting hour by hour in terms of how much rainfall we're going to get over the weekend. But certainly waves of rain kind of spoiling outdoor plans. Yeah, you can count on that one. The system is highly disorganized down to the south. It has some 20 mile an hour, 25 mile an hour knot winds right now. It has very minor pressure drops, actually, but a Hurricane Hunter aircraft will actually go out to this area probably later today and assess it and see whether we have a tropical system that's developing or maybe a subtropical system that's developing. We'll see if we have a depression or not. 70% chance of some kind of development over the course of the next couple of days, and a 90% chance with time. Some of the computer models take it up to certainly a tropical storm force status, and even a reasonably strong tropical storm as it moves up toward the northern Gulf Coast away from us. But we will see that plume of deep tropical moisture all weekend long lifting out of the Caribbean and over us. Heavy rainfall now falling in parts of Cuba, spreading into South Florida today. Florida Keys going to be a mess. We're not going to see a whole lot for our morning commute. That looks okay, but the trip home tonight again will feature those basically afternoon thunderstorms. Go with about a 60% chance of seeing that later today. We'll detail the weekend forecast in just a few. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the live scene right now at I-75 and University Parkway. This is looking toward Lakewood Ranch. Has some traffic coming through the diverging diamond right there. That $75 million project. Should be a busy weekend on the roads. Details about that throughout the next half hour or so. Let's check the maps. Not too bad so far. Fridays usually are lighter, and of course this hour of the day is always pretty light. No problem there. Checking farther south now into the upper half of Sarasota County. Little blip there on 301 northbound around 10th Street, also Bee Ridge Road westbound at Honore. And then our final map to the south will show actually an accident already near 75 in Northport. Let's click on that and learn more about this together. It is going to be at Peak Street and Amanda Avenue in Northport. A couple side streets there. We'll check on that throughout the morning here on Good Morning Suncoast. New this morning, the man who many say helped spark the Me Too movement is expected to turn himself into police today. Harvey Weinstein, facing some serious charges of sexual assault. He's been under investigation by the Manhattan DA for months. There are about 80 women who have publicly accused Weinstein of rape, sexual assault, or harassment, which some say is not easy to come forward.
These cases are extraordinarily difficult to find people to get and ask them to come forward and make statements. So I salute them.
Weinstein has denied any allegations of non-consensual sex.
Now, the latest in Hollywood to be accused of inappropriate behavior, Oscar winner Morgan Freeman. An exclusive report from CNN had allegations from 8 women from both movie sets and in press interviews who all said they were either harassed or endured inappropriate sexual behavior by Freeman. 8 others mentioned in the story backed up those allegations. The 80-year-old released an apology yesterday afternoon to, quote, anyone who felt uncomfortable or disrespected. He also went on to say that making women feel uncomfortable was never his intent. Now the Screen Actors Guild Awards, well, they are actually in the process of trying to figure out if they will take back the Lifetime Achievement Award they recently bestowed on Freeman.
Predictions are in. With 1 week until the start of hurricane season, experts predict near or above normal activity. NOAA expects between 10 and 16 storms, with up to 4 becoming Category 3 or higher hurricanes. Of course, as we all know, last year was particularly active with 6 major hurricanes, including Harvey, Maria, and Irma that struck here. We're close to here. There's no way to predict for sure how many active hurricanes there will be this season. The season officially starts on June the 1st.
Well, as we get ready for storms this weekend, some businesses on the beaches are feeling the hit of some of those cancellations. With rainy weather forecasted for the weekend, resorts and hotels are getting plenty of calls from their customers asking about cancellations. Other outdoor businesses like a Segway tour in Bradenton Beach, they say that their normally booked schedules are now wide open.
People are more of the wait and see attitude this weekend, which I think leaves a lot of us operators a little up in the air to know what it's going to look like financially.
We've had a few people call for cancellations, but I mean, it's going to be rain.
Now, the hotels and rentals that we spoke with say so far, very few have actually canceled their reservations. It is important to note that most rentals will charge customers who back out at the last minute. Well, AAA is predicting more than 36 million people nationwide will hit the road this Memorial Day weekend, and they'll do so with gas prices on the rise.
With prices on the rise, let's get a preview now from Marla Spence, who's live at a gas station in Sarasota. Marla?
Good morning, guys. As you can see, this gas station on Tamiami Trail is already busy with drivers fueling up their cars ahead of the busy weekend. Memorial Day marks the start of the busy summer travel period and is expected to be busier this year than last year. Meanwhile, gas is 60 cents more expensive per gallon compared to last Memorial Day. We spoke to some people here fueling up and getting ready to make their way out of town for the holiday weekend, and they told us they enjoy traveling too much to let gas prices change their plans.
The gas price ain't gonna change my mind. Gotta get where we gotta get at, you know what I'm saying?
No, the gas prices will not influence whether we travel or not this summer.
And here's a closer look at the numbers. Right now, AAA says the average price for gasoline, a gallon for regular unleaded in Florida is $2.91. It's even higher nationwide at $2.96 a gallon. 1 year ago, gas was $2.31 a gallon. Now, also here is where you can find the least expensive gas on the Suncoast. According to GasBuddy.com, you can find regular unleaded for $2.79 a gallon at the Citgo on 15th Street and Televas Road. And in Bradenton, the lowest price is also $2.79 at the Marathon on 47th and 53rd Avenue East near Lockwood Ridge Road. Coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you about a free program to get you a ride this weekend if you find yourself a little buzzed and you can't get behind the wheel. We'll tell you about that coming up at 6:30. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. Some good tips right there. Speaking of gas, especially this weekend, be sure to have your guard up for gas pump card skimmers as you head to the pumps to fill up. First, if you can, pay in cash. That is a big one. Second, check to make sure the gas pump dispenser cabinet is closed and hasn't been tampered with. And here's another really good one. Always use a pump closer to the front of the store and use a credit card instead of a debit card, or the credit card option instead. Now, of course, credit cards have better fraud protection and the money is not deducted immediately from your account.
This morning, thankfully, everyone is safe after a church van carrying 10 children smashed into a restaurant inches away from hitting restaurant customers. Look at this dramatic video showing the moments the van comes into the restaurant. One witness describes the terrifying moments as they scrambled to help the kids inside the van.
We started banging, open the door, but the kids, some of them were piled up on top of each other.
Police say the driver of the van has been cited for his actions. New details this morning of a man in Oklahoma City who police say opened fire in a crowded restaurant on the lake. 2 women were shot inside. A man was injured while trying to get out. It happened at a place called Louis on the lake. All the victims are expected to recover. Now get this, the shooter was shot and killed by an armed citizen in the parking lot.
Well, this morning you can expect your inbox to be flooded with emails about privacy changes for many websites. Why? Well, the General Data Protection Regulation goes into effect officially today. So what does that mean for you and your online privacy? Well, the regulation puts limits on the way that companies collect data under new laws. Users will now have to give consent on how their personal information is processed. Now, so far, Google, Airbnb, Instagram, and a few other major companies have already sent out their email alerts.
Still ahead, if you aren't sleeping well, Stephanie,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Find yourself in a bad mood more often?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The two go hand in hand.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
The major impacts that bad sleep has on your mental health. I'm looking forward to this story when we come back.
No, when we talk to you, we'll shade your face.
Okay.
We'll
I
keep
want to go incognito.
anonymous. There's a peek outside our window. Looks like some nice skies perhaps, but don't be confused. John, what is on the menu today for us?
Well, first of all, they didn't need to do a study to write that story. They could have just come and talked to us, right? I mean, we know. You know, there's still some big questions in the forecast for the weekend, no doubt about that. We have a very disorganized, lopsided system down in the Caribbean, lifting north, but forecast to develop. I'm going to spell out on our First Alert weather app with a video in about 45 minutes exactly what threats it may pose, and we'll talk about that in the next half hour as well. School bus forecast, those in Sarasota may avert their eyes. We are looking at a pretty nice day for picking up the kids, a partly cloudy sky and not much of a rain chance, but on the way home, there will be some scattered showers around, maybe a thunderstorm or two, particularly late in the afternoon. We'll have the forecast details in just a few.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So a brief recap of today's weather. It's going to be very similar to yesterday's weather. We'll have some clouds around, a little bit of sun poking through the clouds. Building afternoon clouds leading to showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be heavy and which could produce a plentiful amount of rainfall, as well as some lightning pops and thunder. And then those all kind of start to decrease in intensity as we head into the evening hours. Titan radar right now, quiet, so if you're commuting this morning, you should be A-OK. Don't really see any problems till later on this afternoon. There's the system that we continue to monitor. Spaghetti computer model plots, all of our models plotted out for you at one time. That's why we call them the spaghetti model plots, but not because that's a particular model, but because when we throw all the models onto the map, it looks like spaghetti. The general consensus, and there's still some discrepancy amongst the models, the general consensus is a track that takes it out, well out in the Gulf waters and up toward the northern Gulf Coast, where it begins to intensify before making it onshore, probably up around, well, anywhere between New Orleans and Tallahassee, let's say, but Mobile, Alabama seems to be a likely location. There are some computer models taking it closer to Florida, some keeping it further away, depending on the track. That's where you get into question about how much rainfall we get and the kind of winds we get. The tracks that take it closer to Florida are still the American models, but they make it a weaker system. The tracks that keep it further out to sea strengthen the system up to a significant tropical storm before making landfall and give us a pretty deep moisture plume. Either way, I think we'll see lots of showers lifting northward. There's the European model by Sunday at 2 a.m., making its closest move to us. Our winds will probably be picking up at that point to about 20, 25 miles per hour, maybe 30 miles, gusts, something like that. So the winds will be kind of howling, not doing any damage, but kind of howling out there. And some of the storms will be very fast moving. One thing we'll watch at this time period is the potential, just about following this line of showers traced out by the European forecast, of quick spin-ups of tornadoes, perhaps, or water spouts, particularly in South Florida and the Florida Keys. But even in our area, we have a marginal risk about 2% at this time, so we'll watch for that. Excessive rainfall over the course of several days could be a problem, a tropical storm as it makes landfall. The European forecast for rainfall, again, calls for us to get about 4 to 5 inches of rainfall over a 4 to 5 day period, which we could handle, but could aggravate certainly the river flooding if we got excessive amounts of rain. Pockets of 7, 8 inch rainfalls wouldn't be out of the question, so we'll watch for that and be forecasting that really kind of hour by hour. The heaviest of the rain in this scenario would be up around Mobile, Alabama. So this is the American forecast, brings the system closer to the state of Florida, but as a weaker system, probably a tropical depression out there, according to this model. And the winds would be less, but the rainfall could be a little bit more on the southern tip of the system. So again, lifting up north closer to the Tallahassee area. The American forecast model puts the heaviest of the rainfall down in the southern tip and toward the other coast, but we still get our 3 to 4 inch rainfalls around here over the course of several days, which again, if we got it all at once over the weekend, could lead to some localized ponding of water on roadways and fields that are low-lying, or drainage culverts filling up, that sort of thing. Could lead to a big mosquito problem either way by next week, I think. And of course, we monitor for any more serious flooding potential. The heaviest of the rain in this case would be up around Tallahassee. Beach and boating forecast looks okay for today, but the winds will be picking up in the second half of the day. Obviously, stay in port over the weekend. It is not going to be good boating weather. We're looking at 60% chance of afternoon showers today. We'll go up to 80% tomorrow. Waves of rain moving through both Saturday and Sunday. I'll call them first alert weather days for the reasons I just spelled out. There's also that 2% risk of a spin-up of a waterspout or brief, weak tornado. So we'll watch for that and see just how much rainfall we get, and that will probably continue into the weekend, into the next work week. Unfortunately, it does look like it's going to be a very wet Memorial Day weekend. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look right now at your first alert traffic later on this morning. Of course, a lot more people expected to be on the roads, getting a head start on the holiday weekend. But so far at this hour, we're not really seeing any of that extra traffic, just the normal commute stuff. 301 State Road 70 in and out of Bradenton. Those roads are starting to get a little bit slowed down, as well as that intersection. In Sarasota County, we do have some delays, but they're part of our normal morning commute, especially right there on 75, coming off of 75 onto Clark Road, going in both directions. Those roads are slowing way down. A few delays eyes on that area as well. A little bit farther south in the area, if you are heading towards the area of Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, we do have like one little hot spot to tell you about right there. On Peak Street, there's an accident at Amanda Avenue. Again, on Peak Street, there's an accident at Amanda Avenue. That's farther in the lower half of Sarasota County. But other than that, if you are heading south in the next half hour or so, nothing real major to note on your commute this morning. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, are you feeling extra cranky or mooding these days? Yes? Well, your bad moods might be directly connected to your bad sleep. It turns out that our internal clocks actually have a bigger impact on our mental health than you might think. Here's Kim Hutcherson.
Your mood has a lot to do with your sleep schedule. Disrupting your internal clock may put you at a higher risk for mood disorders, ranging from depression and bipolar disorder to loneliness, unhappiness, and general mood instability. For the study, more than 91,000 participants wore motion tracking devices on their wrists for a week. That data was used to classify their internal clocks as disrupted or not disrupted. People who were inactive during the day and active at night were classified as having disrupted internal clocks. Those individuals were between 6 and 10% more likely to have been diagnosed with a mood disorder. The researchers say the body's clock plays a crucial role in mood, but admit further research is needed to determine the extent of the impact. The study's participants were between 37 and 73 years old, but most mood disorders appear before age 24. Also, researchers can't say if disrupted sleep causes the mood disorders or if mood disorders are just a symptom of disrupted sleep. I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And now we talk to Stephanie from Sarasota.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Very interesting. Good connection.
Very familiar. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
Movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, he's expected to turn himself in later on today. We're going to tell you the major charges that he is now facing when we come back. Right now you're watching Good Morning Suncoast right here on ABC 7.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Jeep Celebration event. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC 7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC 7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Welcome back. It is 6:24. The man who sparked the Me Too movement, movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, is expected to surrender to New York police later today.
ABC's Lindsay Davis has our preview.
In this morning's GMA First Look, movie studio executive Harvey Weinstein set to turn himself into the NYPD, stemming from an NYPD investigation into allegations by 2 women, including former aspiring actress Lucia Evans. Evans told The New Yorker back in October that Weinstein overpowered and forced her to perform a sexual act during a business meeting at his Manhattan office in 2004, adding, "I said over and over, I don't want to do this. Stop. Don't." Evans' accusations are within the statute of limitations in New York. Also contacted by the NYPD, actress Paz de la Huerta. She told Vanity Fair back in November that she was raped by Weinstein twice in 2010 after he invited himself to her apartment. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll get reaction from writer Ronan Farrow and actress Rose McGowan. With your GMA First Look, I'm Lindsay Davis, ABC News, New York.
I needed legal advice for my shop. That's when I remembered that my ex-boyfriend actually went to law school, so I called him. He didn't call me back.
If your ex-boyfriend isn't a lawyer, call LegalZoom and we'll connect you with an attorney. LegalZoom, where life meets legal.
From your home to your whole community, ask Sherwin-Williams during our National Painting Week sale. From May 25th through June 4th, get 30% off paints and stains. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store today.
Dixie Ultra's Flex-Proof technology makes it twice as strong as the leading store brand. That's strength you can count on.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy children's Claritin Allergy Relief, the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand. Because to a kid, a grassy hill is irresistible. Children's Claritin. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Right now, a tropical disturbance is building in the Caribbean. Possible heavy rain here on the Suncoast this weekend. First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi is tracking the storm.
A billion-dollar project is now underway on Sarasota's bayfront. A closer look at plans for the new quay at the foot of Fruitville Road.
And with millions expected to be on the move, our Marla Spence will tell us how to stay safe on the roads as you head out for this Memorial Day weekend. The story's right now on Good Morning Suncoast. It is 6:30. Thanks for waking up with us on this Friday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. The eve of Memorial Day weekend. And John, folks are wanting to know if they can go outside this weekend and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, bad timing, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? It's not going to be a total rainfall that's coming down in buckets every hour right straight through the weekend. So there will be times when you can, take a trip to the grocery store or whatever. But if you're planning on a big picnic at the beach, yeah, that one probably is not going to work out for you because there will be periods of heavy rainfall and some pretty strong winds as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. There's the system, highly disorganized, but forecast to become better organized as it moves into Gulf waters and encounters some slightly better conditions for development. 90L, and by the way, what that means is that it's an invest. It's worth investigating. That's a designation that the Hurricane Center gives these systems. They range from 90 to 99, and they're designated L for Atlantic. And the reason they do that is so they don't get confused with tropical depression number 1, tropical depression number 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. It's very unlikely you'll get 90 tropical depressions in one season. That's why they give them those numbers. 70% chance of that developing into a tropical or subtropical system over the next 2 days, 90% over 5 days. Doesn't matter if it does develop or not, most likely stays in the Gulf, but it provides us with heavy rainfall potential over the course of the next 5 days or so. The stream of moisture continues today and brings us afternoon rain showers. Heavy rain now over Cuba, probably over South Florida by the time we hit tomorrow at this time, and then we'll see more of those rain showers spreading into our area on Saturday. Periods of rain are pretty much a lock, some of it heavy, a possibility, some localized flooding, maybe. We'll be monitoring that kind of hour by hour. A 60% chance of afternoon showers with a complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you soon. Let's take a look right now at the road. This is a live shot at I-75 as cars get off University Parkway and get on the interstate. This is not too far from Lakewood Ranch and the mall at UTC. Pretty day developing right there. Let's take a look now at the maps, and we'll find out there is some buildup on certain roads. For example, 301 at State Road 70. We've got an issue there. Let's check farther south now at the northern half of Sarasota County. And some congestion there east of the interstate on Clark Road for some reason out there in both directions. And then our final map to the south will show us still a little problem there in Northport on a couple side street roads there. Peak Street at Amanda Avenue. That's within Northport. Be aware of that if you live nearby there. Otherwise, all clear at 6:33.
All right, well, we are exactly 1 week away from the start of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season, and the tropics, as you can see, they are already churning. This is a look at Invest 90L. It's a broad area of low pressure over the Yucatan Peninsula that experts say could develop as it moves into the Gulf. Now, the National Hurricane Center says there's a 90% chance that Invest 90L could develop into a subtropical or tropical system over the next 5 days. And as meteorologist John Scalzi has told us, regardless of the strength, there will likely be heavy rain across Florida and the northern Gulf Coast over the weekend. Now, as you finalize those Memorial Day weekend plans, be sure to keep an eye on that storm.
Work is now underway on the billion-dollar quay project on Sarasota's bayfront. The city and developers broke ground on Wednesday. The project will include almost 700 condos, office and commercial space, restaurants as well. Greenpoint developers are based in Jacksonville. Now there's a bit of an aerial shot of the section. It'll go up in separate blocks, with the Ritz residential towers being the first development. One city commissioner says the development will transform the bayfront over the next several years.
We're looking forward to having a project that fits into the community and that adds not only additional character to that space, but also brings a lot of good jobs to this area.
And this billion-dollar project will replace the previous quay that was knocked down over 10 years ago.
Well, a handful of neighborhoods in the southern part of Manatee County are prone to flooding, as we all know. And this morning, they are bracing for some heavy rains. They are predicted for the area. So Manatee County, they are giving out sandbags. They're trying to stay ahead of the game to residents who do frequently experience this flooding when it rains. Public Works is also cleaning out the drains and the ditches, trying to prevent some of the flooding that happens. Now, long term, the county is trying to find out the best fix for some of these flood-prone neighborhoods. They're also considering a stormwater fee. Now, last August, all it took was some rain, even before Irma hit, to cause severe damage.
If we get a heavy rain event, and I'm not talking enormous amount, I'm really talking about 4 to 5 inches within a 12-hour period, it could be no name all over again, because right now our ground is saturated as it is.
Now, if you are in one of those flood-prone neighborhoods in Manatee County and you do need sandbags, crews will be at the Transit Center today, starting at 8 o'clock this morning and running to 7 o'clock tonight with those sandbags. The county has already handed out about 200 so far. Well, according to AAA, nearly 36 million of us will be hitting the roads and kicking off summer with a Memorial Day weekend getaway.
Also on the road, state police looking for dangerous drivers. Marla Spence has a preview in Sarasota. Marla?
Good morning, guys. According to AAA, there will be nearly 5% more drivers traveling on the roads compared to last Memorial Day as people get into their cars and hop on the roads and get on the roads to enjoy their weekend. Law enforcement wants to make sure drivers are safe this year. According to AAA, Memorial Day is the start of the busy summer travel season, and as drivers travel, the Sarasota Police Department wants to remind drivers to take their time on the road while traveling. The department says more speeding-related deaths happen during summer months than any other time of the year. The department also wants to make sure that those people who are traveling keep their eyes on the roads and their phones out of their hands. And also, one more last thing, they want you to choose a sober driver or find another way to get home if you had one too many sips of alcohol. If you need a ride, you can always use AAA's free tow-to-go service. AAA will pick you and your car up and take you within a 10-mile radius from today until Tuesday at 6 a.m. All you have to do is call 855-2-TOW-TO-GO, and that number should be on your screen. The service is available for anyone who needs it, whether or not they are a member of AAA. I'm Marla Spence reporting live in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. After a series of recent shootings, dozens of people attended a Stop the Violence session last night in Newtown. Chief Bernadette DePino says there have already been 17 shootings in Newtown this year, 4 in a one-week recent span. One program discussed last night was a gun buyback program.
I'll get together to discuss some maybe problem-solving initiatives to be able to reduce and totally eliminate gun violence within our community.
This just has to stop, and the only way that it does stop is that we have to work together with our police department to find a solution.
The chief expects to have more meetings like this in Newtown in the future.
All right, kids, this one is for you. Manatee County Area Transit, or MCAT, is starting a new Summer Connection Bus Pass program for just $25. This new pass gives anyone 19 or younger unlimited bus rides. Now, the pass can also be used on Route 99 buses connecting Manatee and Sarasota counties. The Summer Connection Pass is good from June 1st until the end of August. You can find yours at MCAT transit stations in Bradenton or even by mail order.
The threat of this weekend's bad weather has already postponed the St. Armand Seafood Festival until next weekend. The free event at St. Armand Circle will offer fresh seafood by local vendors and also live music again next weekend, not this weekend.
All right, still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
We'll have reaction to President Trump's decision to cancel that summit with North Korea. So what's next there? We'll have a story for you.
All right, but first let's take a look outside. Dawn is breaking on this Friday. A lot of people getting ready to hit the roads, or at least making their plans for the holiday weekend. It's going to be a tough one, right, John Scalzi?
See that cloudy sky? That's what you're going to see all weekend long. And at times, it's going to be a little more angry than that. You'll see some showers, you'll see some thunderstorms, you'll see some periods of heavy rainfall, and the winds will kind of be blowing very hard, I think, as we head into Saturday night. I mean, it won't do any damage, but you'll be looking at 20, 25 mile an hour winds with gusts to 30. You'll certainly notice it. And then the potential, of course, for some flooded roadways as well. All from our system, which right now remains very unorganized, disorganized, but is forecast to strengthen. We'll cover it in a second.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So between now and about 9 a.m., we'll have a fair amount of cloud cover around, but I don't expect to see much in the way of any kind of rainfall. The cloud cover will kind of hold down the temperatures a bit today, and so we'll have the rain showers around. I don't think we'll see as many big storms as we saw yesterday because the temperatures will be lower, but we'll have a few, and they will produce some pretty good rainfall. 60% chance of afternoon showers, thunderstorms possible, and then those kind of taper off as we head into the 7 p.m. time period. Quiet right now on radar, and we continue to monitor that area of disturbed weather to the south. Computer model plots of this system at this hour continue to show a cluster of solutions that take it up toward Mobile, Alabama, back toward Louisiana Delta region. There might be a little bit of a nudge further to the west by 100 miles or so with this latest computer batch of models, but we still have the American model that tends to bring it a little bit, some of the runs continue to bring it a little bit closer to the state of Florida, but as a weaker system, so there's still some uncertainty in the weekend forecast. I will be absolutely upfront about that. We'll wait and see as this system moves into the Gulf waters and actually begins to form. Once it does that, and we see what's going on with it and what its structure is and what its path might be, we'll have a better idea of being able to hone down the forecast a little bit more specifically. But given these two scenarios, here's what I think will happen. The European model makes the storm system a little bit stronger, keeps it a little bit further away from us. We get bands of showers and thunderstorms moving through here with the heaviest of the weather offshore, strengthening as it lifts up toward the northern Gulf Coast. There could be some significant flooding because of the slow motion of this system as it moves onshore over the course of several days. That's one issue. Then the rainfall estimates of that put heavier rainfall on the west coast of Florida because the system is stronger. Further out, we get the rain bands coming in one after another. And we get maybe as much as 5 inches of rainfall with pockets, perhaps, of 8-inch rainfalls. What does that mean? Well, if it comes down all at once, obviously we're going to get some low-lying flooding. The ground gets saturated, the culverts fill up, drainage becomes a problem, and, get some slosh over on roadways. Low-lying areas get flooded. You know how that goes. Also, down the road, river flood warnings could be a problem. The Myakka River, the Little Manatee, the Horse Creek, all of those, the Alfaya in Hillsborough, all could be a real problem down the road if we get that excessive rainfall. We'll be monitoring that really kind of hour by hour. We have some heavy rainfall potential up toward Mobile, Alabama as well, if that scenario is true. Here's the American model, closer to the state of Florida, a weaker system. In this case, I think the heaviest of the rain would probably fall in South Florida and over on the other coast and up in toward the Big Bend region. There, the system moves onshore. Again, a slow mover. Again, a heavy rainfall potential. Either way, we get wet this weekend. Here's the rainfall forecast for the American model. And again, the rainfall totals are a little bit less for us, a little bit higher down for South Florida, but no matter, we'll have to watch it carefully over the weekend to see how many bands of those rain showers we get. Plus, there's a potential, slight potential, a 2% right now potential for some damaging wind in the form of maybe a spin-up of a brief tornado or perhaps a waterspout. Mostly for the Keys, mostly for South Florida, but it does include a sliver of the Suncoast as well. We'll watch how that evolves. I'll put that in the kind of low category right now, but not vanishingly low. And heavy rainfall, that's a potential. We'll give that a medium risk potential. Could see some, of course, the problems that I just mentioned with the heavier rains. And then rough seas and rip currents, wave action, that I'll put in the high category. Nobody should be out on the water over the weekend. So here's the severe thunderstorm risk for today. We don't have one. Tomorrow, this sliver of our area in a 2% risk. Better chances for South Florida and the Keys. Here's your forecast for boating today. Not so bad. Southeast wind increasing during the nighttime, though, and getting stronger as we head into the weekend. Saturday night into Sunday morning, those winds picking up to about 20-25 miles per hour, maybe some gusts to 30. You'll certainly notice that. It shouldn't do any structural damage, but it could bring down a tree limb or two and maybe lead to a sporadic power outage. Not impossible. First alert weather days for the potential of some heavy rainfall, and those rains continue on into next week. Yeah, it's not going to be a great weekend. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside. Take one more look at your first alert traffic out there in Manatee County. Starting to see some of our usual slowdowns in the morning coming over those bridges as heading into Bradenton as well as out of the city as you head a little bit farther south. 301 State Road 70, some slowdowns right there. Then in Sarasota County, those roads aren't too bad just yet. We do have a couple slowdowns and some delays. 41 already getting slowed down like it normally does right there along the Bayfront area. We've got some slowdowns to tell you about as you come off of 75 onto Bee Ridge, some delays right there, and onto Clark off off of 75. Some delays right there as well. A little bit farther south in the county, those areas are still looking pretty decent. There is that one little blip right there in Northport, in the Northport area. It is Peak Street at Amanda Avenue, some of the side streets right there. Peak Street at Amanda in Northport. There's an accident right there, so be on the lookout for that one. But otherwise, if you're headed south, it's going to look pretty decent for you. That is your First Alert traffic. Well, new this morning, Florida Highway Patrol says they have arrested the hit-and-run driver involved in a deadly crash last week in Venice. Now, it happened on 41 near the intersection with Short Road. Troopers say 19-year-old Zachary O'Brien was trying to cross 41 when he was hit by a maroon SUV. Now, that's when the driver, Joshua McNamara, reportedly took off. Now, O'Brien was flown to Sarasota Memorial, where he later died. McNamara is now charged with leaving the scene of a deadly crash and tampering with evidence after they found the car covered up behind his home.
New developments this morning in the wake of President Trump's decision to pull out of next month's summit with North Korea. In a letter to Kim Jong-un, the president cites North Korea's open hostility and reminds them of America's strong nuclear power. Now, North Korea released a statement as well, saying their anger and hostility is backlash in response to urging them to drop their nuclear program. They say the summit is desperately needed, and they are still willing to meet with President Trump. Stay tuned. Still had your top 7 before 7.
All right, and that includes a look at your First Alert weather, what you can expect this weekend, and very important, where you can find the cheapest gas prices as you hit the road for the holiday weekend. We've got a couple locations for you.
Here's the peek outside at the I-75 University Parkway entrance. Pretty shot there, thanks to our live camera. Our top 7 is next on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Welcome back. It is 6:53, and here is your top 7 before 7.
First off, John's all-important First Alert weekend forecast.
So I think we'll be looking at a out-the-door forecast that features an umbrella. No doubt about that. Especially in the second half of the day, you're going to need that. First Alert app, if you don't have it on your phone, if you don't have notifications activated, you're going to want to do that this weekend because of, well, the potential of some heavy rain. You're going to want that radar handy because it is going to be a wet weekend. Today, afternoon showers and thunderstorms are a good bet. Lots of clouds around, holding our temperature down. And don't forget, I'll be posting something on our Facebook page and on mysuncoast.com about the system and the threats of the system in about 5 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Number 2, checking the roads. Pretty clear right now. This is the scene in Manatee County. A little lighter load than usual on Fridays, and today is no exception. Take it slowly as you head out the door this morning.
And number 3, speaking of hitting the roads, as you hit the road this holiday weekend, we found a few of the lowest gas prices for you. First, the Citgo station on 15th and Talavast, and the Marathon station on 47th and 53rd Avenue East. Both of those stations have $2.79 a gallon for gas prices.
And number 4, this holiday weekend, stay on guard for card skimmers at the gas pumps. Experts say use a pump close to the store and pay in cash if possible.
Number 5, work is now underway on the billion-dollar quay project on Sarasota's Bayfront. 700 condos and commercial space are both expected in that plan. The previous quay was torn down just over 10 years ago.
Number 6, the man who many say helped spark the Me Too movement is expected to turn himself in to New York City police today. Harvey Weinstein facing charges of sexual assault. He has denied any allegations of non-consensual sex.
And number 7, what's trending today? Star Wars. Star Wars. Solo, now in theaters. This, of course, is Han Solo's origin story, how he and Lando Calrissian met, how he and Chewbacca came to be, how old Chewbacca is. We also meet some lady Wookiees. I saw it earlier this week. I love it. John Scalzi, he's already bought his tickets.
I'll be there. My wife and I are definitely going to that one.
I
no
cannot
doubt
wait.
about it.
I love these origin stories. There's so many good stories behind this. If you would see them,
Yes.
you would really like the stories. They're good stories.
So a good weekend for seeing movies.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Periods of heavy rain possible. A slightest little chance of severe weather tomorrow night. The winds will be picking up tomorrow night as well. Kind of breezy out there. Yeah, periods of heavy rain. Alternate plans required.
That's right. And make sure that you have the ABC7 app downloaded, notifications on.
Thanks for watching Good Morning Suncoast. GMA is next.